Now, the Subway Final Word.
I was told I met Chuck Noll at the Senior Bowl. Don't remember it. And no, not one phone call, not one scout.
Terry Bradshaw on his draft day memories, and he didn't have a pro day or any real contact with the Steelers before they took him overall #1. Oh, the good old days. Allen Robinson in the Tribune Review ranked the Steelers' first-round draft picks in today's Trib. Ranked Joe Green #1, Terry Bradshaw #2, and Franco Harris #3. Let's segue to topic 5. That list also includes the likes of Polamalu and Roethlisberger and Swan. Who would you rank as the best first-round draft picks in Steelers history? Allen, you're first to defend the pick of Mean Joe Green.
I don't think that one is pretty indefensible. That was probably my easiest pick on the whole list. He changed the whole culture of the Steelers. Terry Bradshaw obviously changed the offense, but he had 4 other Hall of Famers playing around him. Joe Green changed everything about the Steelers when he came in '69. It took a few years, but remember, he was the best player on the best defense in the history of the National Football League. But I will say this, they better make one of their top 5 picks this week. This is a very, very important draft for the Steelers for the next 5 years.
Mark?
For the sake of argument, I'll go against Joe Green, although we all know it's Joe Green. I'm going to go Franco Harris, just for the fact that since Franco came in, all they did was win. I hate to nitpick a little bit, but Joe Green did have 3 pretty bad years to start off his career with pretty bad teams.
Right.
Franco was a guy that, he rushed for 1,000 yards 8 years over his career. He still has the most Super Bowl rushing yards in a career. So just for the sake of argument, I'm going with Franco. Also, I was a big Franco fan growing up, so we'll go with Franco.
Bill?
I have to go with Mean Joe Green. As Allen said, he changed the tone of the entire franchise. He was the foundation of the franchise, and then, of course, they had some fabulous first-round picks since then. Now, if you break it into 2 segments, if you have the second most important first-round draft pick, that would have to be Ben Roethlisberger, because when he came in, all of a sudden the team took off a little bit, and all of a sudden they're winning more Super Bowl championships. So I think it's Mean Joe overall for all of it, but if you break it down into 2 segments in terms of the Super Bowl winning championships, Ben Roethlisberger would have to be the #1 for the most recent decade of excellence, so to speak.
All right, thank you, Bill. Your limo is waiting, so get to it. Mark and I were discussing Aaron Jones.
I think it was 97.
You might have heard us whispering.
I wasn't whispering. I think I was talking out loud.
Bill and Mark
Live
and
show,
Allen,
right?
thank
Live
you.
show?
A final word on this week's Subway Final Word. The goals will come. Nobody's giving Sidney Crosby a free pass, as some have suggested on Twitter. And no, there's no way you can compare Sid's scoring drought to the playoff failures of Barry Bonds. Before this year, Crosby had played in 82 playoff games. In those games, he had 40 goals and 65 assists. That's a 100-point-plus season. Last year around this time, he had a playoff hat trick. 13 games without a goal, proof that it happens even to the best. He's still the best, and the goals will come. And that's the final word. Thanks for joining us on the Subway Final Word. For Bill, Allen, and Mark, I'm Albie Oxenrider. Good night.